Good. It's time for a change of pace. This next assignment requires a bit more discretion for 2 reasons. First, you'll be dealing with high-level executives, and second, you'll be in the Astral Lounge here in Neon.
So, I can't jump on stage and sing my heart out to ancient Earth music? Bummer. Okay. I'll be on my best behavior. See? Serious mode activated.
Exactly. And since you seem to be familiar with him, you probably know how much we don't like to upset him. If you haven't already heard the name Benjamin Bayou, you'd better get familiar. The man runs Neon and has ties to anything significant here, including Ryujin. The trade tower is his baby, and the Astral Lounge is the heart and soul. You do anything to scar that and make a scene, I guarantee it'll come back to haunt us. I thought that might spark interest. Our techs failed to uncover a potential deal between Infinity Ltd. And Quantum Synergies. Your job is to make sure that deal fails. Infinity Ltd. Is one of our aspiring competitors. They have products in several similar fields, ships and neuroamps being the exception. Quantum Synergies specializes in ship operating software. We don't consider them a major competitor since their product line is so narrow. If the two are meeting to work out a contract, that tells us Infinity must be looking to get into the ship business. And we'd like to delay that, if we can. That's what we're hoping for. You'll be speaking with Quantum Synergy's Executive Director Zola Adisa and their Financial Manager Arthur Cruz. I'll be giving you a dossier on both. I strongly suggest you read them for talking points. I suppose I can give you a brief rundown. We'll start with Zola. Zola is a born and bred executive. It runs in the family, so she's highly accustomed to an upper-class lifestyle. She's a narcissist who's also obsessed with public perception, both of her and Quantum Synergies. She wants to be associated with the latest and greatest, so she's drawn to innovation and quality. Zola may be self-absorbed and superficial, but she's also smart. Her drive to keep both her name and Quantum Synergies in a positive spotlight have led to several innovations in ship OS software. As for her talking points, the key things to remember are, Infinity is the cheap version of Ryujin. They're a follower, not a leader, and they lack any sense of clear vision. Infinity has struggled with leadership and turnover for a long time now. Lucas Drexler is probably the 5th CEO they've had in the past few years. Plus, it's hard to keep good employees when much better corporations who will pay more are out there. They've launched several, but none survive long. Nothing that would be as big as neuroamps or grav drives. That's why they've taken to just following whatever trends companies like Ryujin set. If they can't make money off ingenuity, they can certainly sell someone a cheaper version of a more expensive product they may want. Infinity Ltd's strategy to make money is to cut cost on quality. You can compare any one of our products to theirs and see it almost instantly. Low-grade synthetics, flimsy thin materials, high energy usage, they issue at least 1 or 2 recalls a year. Just remember, you can refer to the dossier at any time as a refresher. Now, on to Arthur Cruz. Arthur is a self-made man, and he prides himself on that. He's a full package, having both an extremely good knack for numbers and knowing how to talk to people. As Quantum Synergy's financial manager, he's all about driving profit with as little risk as possible. He makes decisions based on facts and heavily researched trends. It sounds like the two of you could really hit it off. Arthur's a great talker, but even the best can lose an audience when finance is the topic. Talking points for Arthur are aimed at steering him toward Ryujin over Infinity Ltd. Ryujin's profits are 25.7% higher than Infinity's, even with a superior quality product. Infinity's profits are fabricated. They're one audit away from ruin. We have a history of being financially secure that's never wavered, and we have the legal and marketing teams to handle anything that might threaten that. We keep an extremely close eye on our competition. Thanks to operatives like you, that information is almost always at our disposal. Quantum Synergies is the top name in ship OS. Their reputation has allowed them to keep the best engineers on their payroll. We can't deny that working with them would be beneficial for us, and Arthur is our best bet in making that happen. Besides, an open collaboration gives us easier access to information we'd otherwise have to find a more clever means of discovering. Sounds like you're ready then. I'd still highly recommend reading the dossiers, though. Sometimes bullet-pointed statements can stick out in minds easier than conversation. Exactly. Those lines are most likely to sway Zola and Arthur away from Infinity, not to mention give them a gentle nudge in our direction. The Infinity Ltd rep is Nina Hart. I'll also be giving you an altered version of her presentation to swap out with the original. We've changed several figures, just enough to cause sufficient confusion throughout their meeting. We got lucky on that one. Nina was making some last-minute changes to it at her own home and happened to save it to her personal data storage. Of course, we were able to access it, so we fabricated our own with new figures and put it on an Infinity Ltd slate. Assuming she's using an Infinity Ltd slate is a bit of a gamble, but one we're willing to take. If it's not on her person, it will be in the suite she has reserved. Suites are patrolled, so she'll believe it's secure. If you can't manage to get her room key or deal with the door itself, try Boone Morgan, the manager. Boone appreciates credits, if you know what I mean. Whenever executives are faced with numbers that don't properly match up, any faith they may have had will falter. Finally, I recommend dressing appropriately, so I've taken the liberty of having a suit made for you. We need absolute discretion on this one. I don't want any SSNN broadcasts about murder in the Astral Lounge. Got it? Business executives aren't going to take advice from just anyone. Show up looking like an Ebbside street rat or mercenary for hire, and you're lucky if they'll even acknowledge you. I bet you are. Just remember to keep a low profile. Don't let the Astral Lounge distract you too much.
effect on people before.
Don't make my job any harder.
This place is insane!
Someone came dressed to impress. Here on business, or just out to escape?
Let's chat.
I could tell from the look of that suit, you are dressed to impress. I doubt the people we are meeting will look half as good. Quantum Synergies. I assume you have heard of us. It is nice to see you are familiar with our business. That would be Infinity Ltd. Of course. They're putting forth effort to impress us, which shows they value and respect us. It won't have any significant impact when it comes down to business decisions, but it makes a good impression. Risky, you say? By all means, enlighten me. Cheap is a word Quantum Synergy should never be associated with. I believed our team had thoroughly researched Infinity, but your comment gives me pause. Their instability was cited as a pain point, but one we could deal with as long as we maintained control of all joint projects. However, upheaval always comes with its own series of issues, delays, morale, public perception, and Drexler has yet to prove he can provide the consistency that I would prefer. Perhaps it really is more than I'm willing to undertake. A surprising conversation, and one I would never expect from someone such as yourself. I suppose the old saying, never judge a book by its cover, is appropriate here. It seems I have quite a bit to reconsider now. So it looks like the pleasure aspect of my trip needs to be postponed. Thank you for the insight.
All these years, and Bayou hasn't let this place slip a single notch. The man knows how to run a business. Ain't that the truth? And especially so for business meetings. You want to impress a client? The Astral Lounge is the place to do it. Tell me, you don't happen to work for Infinity Ltd, do you? Got something against Infinity, I take it. I'd love to hear your reasons why. That's an awfully big claim to make. You'd have to have some inside details on their operation. However, it does match some of my own research that I've been conducting into their finances. Look, it was nice meeting you, and I quite enjoyed our little talk. But it sounds like I need to take another look at some data before I head into this presentation of theirs. See you around, and maybe next time I'll be doing business with you.
Hey, no funny stuff with that boost pack.
That was fast.
Another day.
Just the person I wanted to see. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? You're a natural. I'm not just saying that because I hired you. The Astral Lounge can be overwhelming for some, with all its bells and whistles. Tie that in with manipulating people who are the equivalent of their boss's boss, most junior-level ops would start to show their cracks. Overall, not bad for your first high-profile assignment. You even earned yourself a bonus, which Lyndon was more than happy to give.
Whoa, a bonus for being a decent person? You definitely didn't pick that up at Ryujin.
Don't tell me you forgot already. Our financial guru? They're brilliant with numbers. Also, if you ever want an honest opinion about anything, just ask them. They're honest to a fault, and often give their opinion on something whether you want it or not. Only as common as the flawless assignments you pull off. No one wants to clean up a mess. It takes a toll on several departments, which is why we like to promote a clean assignment. It's well deserved. Just keep making me look good, and there'll be more where that came from. But no rest for the weary at Ryujin. We've got a decent backlog of assignments, and they just keep coming, so I hope you're still good to go. At least this next one will be a break from all the chatter.